Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about Deshaun Watson's potential trade destinations and what's recently been narrowed down to a couple teams. So just wanted to get into that because Deshaun Watson, obviously, before the allegations, was a top 5 quarterback. So any team that gets him is definitely going to be a contender. So the first team I want to talk about is the Buccaneers. So obviously, the Buccaneers are going to be in the QB market this offseason with Tom Brady retiring. Bruce Arians needs to figure out a quick fix to a QB to obviously capitalize on a team that's not going to be there for long. I really think they only have 1 or 2 years left of championship contention, assuming they get a QB. So obviously the Buccaneers are a no-brainer good fit for Watson. So obviously the Bucs are a favorite. Tampa Bay also is linked to Russell Wilson, and so are a few other teams that I'm going to get into, like the Broncos, Steelers, and some other teams. But Deshaun Watson is obviously in the prime of his career. Even though he didn't play for the last year or two, we all know what he can do. Obviously what he was able to do on that Texans team is pretty phenomenal. So the next team I want to talk about is the Vikings. Obviously Kirk Cousins is under contract for 1 more season, and he's a really big financial commitment. Obviously, so is Watson, but Cousins right now is under a $35 million contract, so if they did pursue Watson, that would definitely be a good opportunity to save some cap space. The only issue with Watson is obviously his legal issues. Watson's surrounded by 22 civil lawsuits right now, so even if he doesn't face legal trouble, he's still at risk to face league discipline for violation of the NFL's personal conduct policy. Some no-brainer that he plays next year, but it seems to be trending that he will, so if he does end up on a team, I think the Vikings are another team that he would fit well in. The offensive scheme is obviously really attractive to quarterbacks with Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, and even Alexander Madison, who's been able to fill that role pretty well. So I just think that the Vikings are a really good option for a quarterback like Watson. So I wouldn't be surprised if a guy like him and Russell Wilson end up there this offseason. The Vikings are definitely a top 5 attractive team for a quarterback. So assuming that Rodgers doesn't go there, obviously with that rivalry, I think that Watson would be a great fit there. So the last team I want to talk about, which really hasn't been linked to Watson that much, as well as the Vikings and Buccaneers, which seems like Watson and his PR team have publicly stated that they favor. The Broncos would be a great team for Watson. I don't really know if he wants to go to Denver, but obviously it's another team that has a great offensive scheme. Cortland Sutton, Noah Fant, and obviously that running game is really good. Very young running game, so I just think that the Broncos would be a great fit for Watson as well. Watson's the type of quarterback who can really adjust the offense as well. So I think if he's able to clear charges, he'll be a really great fit in that offense. I think the Broncos are one key piece away from being a real contender. So obviously guys like Watson, Rodgers, or Wilson would be a great fit to that team. So if I had to guess, if he does play this year, he's going to go to one of those 3 teams. It really makes the most sense to me. Obviously, there's going to be teams, I'm sure, in the coming week that Watson's team might publicly favor, but those teams make the most sense to me if he obviously doesn't go back to the Texans, which at this point is almost 100% chance he won't. So it's going to be really interesting to see over the next coming months where he decides to go. I think that QB market's going to be really hot for him. Obviously, there's concerns with legal trouble, but if he's able to waive those, I think that Watson will obviously change any team he plays on. So that's going to do it for the video, guys. Appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.